Hey guys, Squid Baconator here, and I am really excited right now. I finally get to talk about the movie Cars from Pixar. Now, Cars gets a pretty bad reputation among other Pixar movies, and I don't think it really deserves it. It's one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, and... Wait a minute, that's not... Cars? Wait... fuck! It's the goddamn mockbuster movie from Video Brincado. I don't want to review this goddamn movie. Damn it. Well, seeing as how I don't have anything important to do right now, I mean, who needs college work? What do you need that for? What's the good is that gonna give you when you can review shitty mockbuster movies on the internet? That's more important, right? Anyways, I better get started, so sit down, get something to drink, and here's my review of The Little Cars. Oh joy.
Alright, let's first start off with the characters. Now, these guys are probably what you'd expect from a mockbuster film. Very bland, very boring, uninteresting, unoriginal, one-dimensional characters that are pretty much just cut-out characters who are trying to look like those from the original Cars film. You got not Lightning McQueen, not Mater, not Sally, not Doc. And there's also a generic racing villain in there, but who cares? They don't do anything interesting. They're all boring as fuck. Next up, we have the animation. Now, it's pretty obvious that people behind this movie had barely any money to make it, and they didn't care at all because the animation is terrible. Nothing about it is good. I mean, the only positive I can say is that it's not painful to look at, but that's not much of a good positive. And it all starts with the character design and character animation. Their facial expressions barely change at all, no matter what they're doing. Whether they're happy, sad, mad, it doesn't change at all. They just look the same no matter what. And it doesn't help that when they're talking, their mouths move very erratically. Like, they pretty much move all over the place, and it just is not appealing to look at. It just looks very weird. And then there's the backgrounds, and none of it is interesting to look at. It's all bland. There's barely any detail in it at all. I mean, just look at this scene from the movie. Pretty much 5 minutes straight of just not Mater and not Lightning McQueen just driving down a road. Nothing changing at all. It just, no changes in the background, no changes in the direction that they're moving, no changes in the road, just them spouting exposition while just driving down this road 5 minutes, and it is boring as hell. And do I even need to talk about the actual racing in the movie? Barely anything happens, there's no attention to detail, it doesn't drag you in at all, it's just really boring. None of this movie is interesting at all. I've already said that 100 times already, but there needs to be the emphasis on why this is such a terrible movie. It's really fucking boring! I hated watching this movie. It was a pain in the ass just to sit through all 30 minutes of it. It's not as painful to watch as some other movies out there, but on a boring level, this was just terrible to sit through. Alright, I gotta finish this movie up before I lose my sanity. The last thing I want to talk about is the story. It's pretty much your generic racing type story, and it adds nothing original or interesting to the formula. It's about this guy who wants to race. People say he can't. And then he ends up getting a chance because generic racing villain ends up sabotaging another racer. So he fills in for that racer and wins. And he wins the girl in the end. The end! I don't want to talk anything about this story anymore. It's just bland as hell. And pair that with all the uninteresting characters, some of whom don't really even do anything for the story. It just ends up being a drag of a film to get through, with a boring, uninteresting, unoriginal, and just overall unpleasant story. And now is The Little Cars in the Great Race, and it's an atrocious film. In fact, all the Video Brincado films are atrocious. Just skip this movie. Instead, go watch the original Cars. It's a much better film than this. People may complain that that movie is bland, but hey, at least it can be pretty enjoyable, and is not boring as hell. And I know I'm supposed to be thankful this November for the things I have, but I am not thankful for Video Brinquedo for making this movie.
If there's one thing to be thankful for this November, I gotta thank Bobsheaux and this whole guest show segment. You see, I am not a very popular YouTuber. It should be kind of obvious by that. And thanks to these guest show segments, not only do I really enjoy seeing all these different people reviewing these movies, but this has got me a lot of attention, more than I've really gotten through my over 2.5 years of doing YouTube videos. Pretty much I got half of my subscriber base currently thanks to Bobsheaux and putting my satirical reviews and this one up on his channel. I can't be more thankful enough for him and grateful enough for him. So, Bobsheaux, thanks. I'm glad you started up this whole guest show segment. And I'm done right now. I'm all done saying stuff. Bleh, I can't talk right now. This whole movie's burned me out too much. So, if you want to, please come over to my channel and subscribe, like videos. And I'll see you guys later.